So I overall wanted to show you the stream in order to show you how to use the Yak-38. Most of this plane is pretty shit. I paused it here just to kind of get us to a position where something's actually happening. Right now, it's just kind of getting into the battle. Overall, this is a plane you really want to keep your speed up. You want to keep right around Mach 1 as fast as you can possibly be going. So you can see here, I kind of got locked on this guy, this F-11. He was going after some teammates, so I came toward him. You can see my turns. If I do turn, I try to do a very shallow turn. Even here, I'm probably leaving off too much speed. You really don't ever want to be under like 500 miles an hour with this one if you're in the heat of battle. So I see the F-11 coming toward the a friendly Yak-38. I'm going to launch an R-60 at a ridiculous angle that was a little ambitious and miss him, and use the other R-60. I'll speed this up a little bit because there's one part of the video I really want to get to show you guys. But you can see I always wait till probably about, if somebody's turning, about 1.7 miles seems to be pretty good to target them. If they're running away from you, really like 1.2 miles. The R-60 is not very good at going a long distance. Its range is pretty shit. That missile connects. The other missile, I don't really know what happened. I thought the angle was a little ambitious. This guy should have maneuvered away from that missile. I believe that was just an AIM-9B from the F-11. I'm pretty much out of ammo here. I wasted some gun bullets earlier. So you're going to see me run away from these two guys. And that's one thing that we're going to be doing a lot in the Yak, is you're going to be running from people. So you can see there's a hunter behind me going after a friendly, and I'm really useless. I can't be of any help to him. So I'm going to start running away from both of them. As this MiG-21 really should have been trying to book it. He has significant speed on that J-29, so I don't know what he was doing. But you can see the J-29 is recommitted to me, and now the Hunter is recommitted to me as well. Now, if that's what is it, the FG9, FA9, I forget how they designate the Hunters. But if it's the 9 series, the premium series, he has AIM-9Js, which at this distance he could easily fire at me. So I'm not sure why he's not, but he seems to kind of be committed elsewhere, maybe toward one of my friendlies over here. The J-29 is committed toward me for now, but you can see I'm up at about 750 miles an hour, slowly trying to get back toward the base. So way too far for a J-29 to target me, even if it's the one with the missiles. He's not going to have any luck there. So I'll fast forward to get through some of the boring parts because they recommit to a friendly that came in there. And I just land and resupply. But right after the resupply, I want to show you, because I get into a situation that is a one-on-one dogfight. Let's slow down a little bit. So I can see, right, the Hunter is targeting the MiG-17. MiG-17 should have won a merge with the Hunter, but he didn't. So I was coming right toward him from the takeoff, thinking I was going to be able to have the MiG-17 and myself on his side, but he kills the MiG-17 in a head-on, which you just really shouldn't do with a Hunter. So here's what I really wanted to show you. So this is a situation, no enemies around me, and I'm going one-on-one with a Hunter, right? So theoretically, Hunter should have me. Hunter's way more maneuverable than I am. But the Yak does have a trick up its sleeve, and of course that's the thrust vectoring. So if you're in this situation where there's no enemies around you, this is how you handle it. Keep your speed, keep below the enemy, come toward a merge, keep your speed. I'm probably going just a little fast, honestly. I probably should be more at 450 during this merge. And what you're going to want to do is pull up behind them. You pull up behind them and put your thrust vectoring full to 100%. He tried to get up. Why he tried to do that? So you'll see as soon as you get below, I believe it's like 300 miles an hour, the thrust vectoring will kick in and it'll actually turn down. So this is a situation now where you can actually get behind a Hunter FGA-9 on a one-turn fight, or single circle fight. So he gets unlucky here and gets in my gun, and I'm able to clip his wing. So if he wasn't able to, if I hadn't shot him there, if he was smart, he would fly up, and then I'm pretty much a sitting duck. So this gives the Yak-38, or even a Harrier can do this maneuver as well. It gives them at least one, one trick up their sleeve for the single turn. In the single turn, they could actually best an opponent doing that. So if he's stupid, he would fly out in front and try to do a horizontal loop, and then I could R60 him, and he'd be dead as well. The rest of this fight is pretty simple. There's a Valtour somewhere around here. I think he's actually behind me. I thought he was on the ground over here, just like waiting, but that wasn't him. That was someone who was already dead. And then I saw him behind me over here. So this is kind of another point that's worth talking about. So again, this is an ambitious R60, I believe, that I tried to launch him. The angle was way too high for me to do that. So when you're in a situation like this, where this Valtour is just going to run, right? So he's just running off. Now, typically you're thinking, oh, fire your R60 right now. I only have one R60 left. It doesn't show up, but I have barely any ammo. So really the R60 is everything I've got. So what I like to do in this situation is get close. I get probably about 0.6, 0.7 miles behind the enemy. This way, if he's not looking carefully, he'll think I'm out of R60s and I'm just with guns. So he might stand a chance and try to outmaneuver me when I'm close by. But when you're at right around 0.6 miles, then you can fire the R60. There's really not much he could do. I mean, he could try to do some flips and everything, but it's a pretty shit situation for him. So he didn't expect that, or at least I don't think he did unless he just gave up. And that's game. Not the greatest, 3 kills, but I thought the 1v1 against the Hunter would have been a good demonstration as to how you play this. I really unlocked this plane just to unlock the entire Soviet tree. I did the American tree and the German tree, and about half the British tree. I'm about 75% of the way through the Soviets. So, it's okay. It's frustrating. If you're good with the MiG-17's guns, I'd probably suggest the MiG-17 over this. But the R60s are good. Some people get really pissed off at them. But every flight performance characteristic of this plane is complete dog shit. So, appreciate you listening.